Diana and I really enjoy this part of our job because it's an important time to use the capital dollars and to put them back into the community in a very real way. And this is really one of the great levels of collaboration where we reach out to our council persons who really do an awesome job of stretching their limited resources to look at capital programs and projects in their districts. By coming together as a partner, we're able to ensure your tax dollars go further, and we're able to ensure that on the ground, those entities that are important are noticed and recognized. And so really we cannot thank our council persons enough. My good friend Mark out in Coney Island, Steve Levin, who represents this area here, and my great friend Councilwoman Lori Cumbo, who really is the conscience of the arts community. Lori makes sure that we get it. And when you think about the arts and cultural institutions, sometimes people believe that they are doing these institutions a favor by giving them some form of capital grant or funding. It is the other way around. Cultural institutions do us a favor by being here. All the records show our children do better in school when they are around cultural institutions. Business people extend and do well when vacationers extend their stay to go and look at our museums and our botanical gardens and all of the various places we have, such as aquarium. And then we hear the sweet sound of what we're hearing in the foreground of children playing and laughing. And out of all of the capital programs and initiatives that we do, there's no greater energy. As I was sitting back, listening to many of you interact with each other, you bring another level to this game. You bring another level of commitment, and you understand that the cultural institutions are a way that we feed the soul of Brooklynites, so to ensure that Brooklynites develop their full personhood and become more compassionate, giving, caring individuals, because brick and mortar is not going to define us. What is going to define us is what type of character do we have as we live in this great borough called Brooklyn. So I want to thank you all for coming here today as we announce this important initiative. Normally, I will go over all that we do, but I don't want to do that because it's not about me. It's about people who are here standing with the checks in their hand. And I want to just thank some of our folks that are here as I allow the council persons to come and talk about the initiative in their particular councilmatic district. But I want to thank Jillian, the Vice President for Development of BRIC, Ann Webster, Vice President of Planning at Brooklyn Museum, Diana Jacobowitz, Executive Artistic Director at Danceware, a great program, and you all should go by and take a look at it. Roddy Schrock, Director of iBeam, Katie Enna, Executive Director of Gilliam Dance, another great program. Zev Greenfield, Executive Director at Issue Project Room. James Barlett, Executive Director of Makata, one of the organizations that Laurie started so many years ago and continue to grow. Andrew Hemmison, Executive Director at St. Anne's Warehouse. We're looking forward to a great project down by Brooklyn Bridge Park. It's really going to define that area. Anita Romero, Warrant, Director of Operation at Weeksville Heritage Center. Sleeping Jewels, that we're going to put a lot of energy and money in. $8.7 million capital funding that we're allocating this year, thanks for our partners and so many meetings we've had throughout the year with these institutions. And I visit all of them and saw what they're doing on the ground and how great it is. I don't want to kill this fly. I'm like a monk. Let them live. So our capital projects and program around our cultural institutions are so important. Amazing activities are done at these institutions, and it's a way, and many of these events are free. Our constituents are able to come into free locations and really engulf themselves and involve themselves and understand that the people that live next door to them are not merely people next door, but they are their neighbors, and neighbors coming out of their homes and enjoying some of these beautiful cultural institutions. Look at all the numbers and you'll realize that over $3 million in one of my favorite places, the Brooklyn Library, Our libraries are not those institutions of the Carnegie era where it is an option. Libraries are a mandatory part of the development, particularly the educational experience of our children. If you remove our libraries, many people won't have access to computers, won't have access to places to go and study. Our libraries are the great equalizer where everyone can participate in the growth. And when you think about it, our libraries, the average Brooklyn branch is over 65 years old. 65 years ago is when we started using the credit cards. And so our library's credit has went through the roof, and capital dollars are needed to improve that. And so that's what our $3 million is going. $500,000 is going out to Coney Island branch. Over $400,000 is going to the Highland branch in Gravesend. Over $500,000 for Saratoga branch in Bed-Stuy. Over $400,000 to Spring Creek branch. Over $500,000 to the Sunset Park branch. Over $800,000 to the library, another library that we have in Gravesend. Mark, you really did a great job of making sure that we did not leave out our libraries. The STREB Lab, Action for Mechanics, we're giving over $250,000. A danceware, over $250,000. $500,000 is going to Sea Cliffs exhibits. Over $1 million will be going to the Brooklyn Museum, a beautiful place where Brooklynites are able to come and coalesce together. The list goes on and on and on, and I would rather the council members come and talk about it. But we are excited, to write this check. There used to be an old soulful ballad that was called Money, Money, Money. And we're bringing money, money, money to a much needed institutions. You guys do an amazing job of stretching the resources that you receive, because you're not doing this for pay. You're not doing this for people to believe that it's some great vision of grandeur. You're doing it because you know it matters. And I think that nonprofit organizations and institutions that continue to wake up every day and give everything they have to inspire everyday Brooklynites and those who sneak in through our borough during the midnight hours to participate in the greatness of our institutions, I say thank you to you. And this is a pleasure that both Diane and I enjoy immensely as we go over the numbers and say, how do we stretch the dollars, partner with our partners, and bring in the capital dollars and the money and funding to these great institutions. So my partner in government, I would love for her to say a few words, followed by Steve Levin, Laurie Cumber, Mark Traeger, Linda Johnson, my good friend from the Brooklyn Library, Stephanie Wilchford, Brooklyn Children's Museum, and Robert from STREB. Okay? I hope y'all got that order.
Thank you, Borough President Adams. We are here home to STREB, and we are so delighted to have them open their doors to have all these great institutions come together to celebrate what is certainly a very dynamic process, the budget dance, back at City Hall. Today, these are the moments that we treasure more than the budget dance. It is when the actual dollars are trickled down and that they're awarded to institutions that make the difference in our communities, especially in the borough of Brooklyn, impacting 2.6 million people. A borough that has and is home to 47% of families who don't speak or speak a language other than English. As our borough president continues to say, culture is celebrated in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is that much better because of its diversity. And we want to invest. We want to continue to see connection of people to culture and to understand that the integration of our communities depends on you all as our partners. And so as we continue to walk the streets of Brooklyn, and near the end of this summer, it's been a nice, cool breeze today, but we hope that people continue to pay tribute to these cultural institutions, to our libraries. You give them life, and they will invest back to you. When I chaired the Small Business Committee in the council, one of our greatest impacts was studying how you are an economic driver, an economic stabilizer, because you do business with small business. You do business with the mom and pop stores. You do business and continue to invest back into community. And so this trickle-down effect, these dollars, as you see here, Greenwood Historic Fund, $130,000 for a new trolley and caboose, is where this will create a job and therefore grow business and therefore give us a better, healthier Brooklyn to live, work, and play. Thank you, Borough President Adams. Thank you to our partners in the council and our culture institutions. God bless.
Well, thank you so much to Borough President Eric Adams. I think that this gathering of institutions and people today shows us that we have a borough president that believes in culture in Brooklyn, that believes in these institutions and sees the value in investing in your long-term stability. You know, I'm not going to name each organization because I was thinking about it, and you know, I could name just the ones that are in the 33rd district, but you know, we're all a family here, and we're all Brooklyn, and that cultural fabric, you know, cuts across neighborhood lines, it cuts across district lines, and it really, as the borough president says, we are one Brooklyn. So, you know, I'm really glad to see the geographic diversity here from all neighborhoods in Brooklyn represented. I just want to quickly just acknowledge the hard work that our not-for-profit cultural partners do every year in applying for this and making sure that everything is squared away. It's not an easy process to do the application for capital and to come up with the plans and engage the architects, because you guys are in the business of providing cultural resources, of providing programming, teaching kids and about, you know, our history or about dance or you know, so on and so forth. And you're not in the business of writing grants, but it's not an easy thing to do. But we're really glad to be able to work with you through the years to make sure that this happens. And so I just want to again acknowledge the borough president, because this is a real demonstration of his commitment to culture. And I look forward to working with all of you and the borough president for many years to come on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is my favorite time of the year. This is such an exciting time, and this is my passion, and this is why I am in the City Council, and I couldn't be happier than to have what I consider my family and friends here with me today. This is so personal for me because I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I had one of my early jobs at Prospect Park, working there and making sure that so many of the events happened, such as what was known as the A&S fishing contest, and the carousel happened every summer. And I had an opportunity to work at the Brooklyn Children's Museum in a program called Kids Crew. And then I went on to there and then worked at the Brooklyn Museum of Art, and I was able to work in the development department. And it was through all of these cultural experiences that I had that my passion for the arts grew, allowing me the opportunity to then start my own museum, but then to run for city council to be that voice of the arts within the city government. What's so exciting to me is that once I arrived there, and with this new administration, this is an administration that gets the arts. They appreciate the arts. They understand the arts. There aren't conversations where we have to push for the importance of the arts. They get it, they know it, and they support it. So when we're sitting with our borough president to talk about what organizations we're going to support, we don't have to sell him on the arts. He understands the arts, and he has his own vision that he collaborates with our visions as well. So I'm really pleased in the City Council. Some of the things that happened also this year, we were able to expand the CASA, the Cultural After School Adventures Program, so that we've gone from 5 to 8 CASA grants. And we also expanded it to include our senior centers as well, so that they will also have an opportunity to participate. We also expanded the Cultural Immigration Fund, which was an incredible opportunity for many organizations, most of them small institutions, that are now able to provide services and programming that supports our smaller institutions dealing with our immigrant communities. We were also able to expand the Theaters of Color initiative, which is an incredible opportunity for so many of our small theaters to receive resources. And I'm also very proud that I was able to start an initiative to expand the anti-gun violence initiative. Because as we all know, the arts, to me, are the ultimate anti-gun violence initiative. When we take guns out of the hands of our children and we replace them with paintbrushes, with pencils, with writing tools and instruments, we transform someone's life. And it's so important that we're able to provide those materials to give our young people the infrastructure that they need to be the greatest people on earth. And I believe that what makes Brooklyn what it is today is really our cultural foundation. We have large institutions, small institutions. We have festivals, we have fairs. We have more artists living in Brooklyn than any other borough in the city of New York. And that's what makes us unique, that's what makes us special, that's what makes Brooklyn the coolest planet on earth. That's really what gives Brooklyn its swag, its flavor. It gives it everything that it needs to be what Brooklyn needs to be. And ultimately, with all of the diverse cultures that live here today, the arts are what bring us together. If not for the arts, we would be these separated communities that don't have an opportunity to learn about one another, to know about each other. And the arts give us that opportunity to do just that. So I'm so excited to be here with all of my colleagues. The ability to provide capital resources makes sure that the arts continue long after we're gone on this earth. It's the ability to put brick and mortar so that the next generations have an opportunity to celebrate and contribute their goals and their vision for how we continue to create culture. And finally, I really just want to thank our borough president and all of our colleagues, because we work so hard and you all work so hard. I know that so many of you have a suntan, and it's not because you were at the Hamptons, it's because you were on the steps of City Hall making sure that you got your funding day in and day out. And I know what that feels like. And I understand how you have to humble yourself in order to meet and to greet and to be happy and to promote your institution with a smile, but you really just want to sit home and have an iced tea during the summer break. But we definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate all the work that you do. I'm so excited to be here. I'm happy to be a council member, and I wish you all the very best as we continue to make Brooklyn the hottest and greatest and coolest planet on earth. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I have to follow Lori Cumbo talking about art.
Bring home culinary.
My luck. First of all, I want to really acknowledge and thank the borough president and his team. I love his theme of One Brooklyn, because it really feels that way. From Metropolitan Avenue here to Mermaid Avenue and Coney Island, I have never felt us more united and really together on the same page. So I want to commend him and his leadership and his entire team. And I also want to thank my colleagues. Both Councilman Lori Cumbo and Steve Levin are really champions in the council and in the Brooklyn delegation to support arts. Believe me, they work very hard pushing the speaker as well, so I commend them for their leadership. As a former teacher, it's very simple. Libraries and cultural groups are extensions of our classroom. For us in Southern Brooklyn, we are still recovering from the storm. Our Coney Island Library second floor children's space never fully came back. With the allocation from the borough president and my office, that library will be fully restored. And might I add, we'll have finally 6-day service in Coney Island. Ulmer Park Library in Bath Beach is listed as a cooling center by the city of New York, although its HVAC system was broken. Well, with the borough president's leadership in our office, that will now be resolved. I just want to say this, that our budget is a reflection of our priorities. But I believe it's very important that our budget also is very culturally relevant. In my opinion, our cultural groups in our libraries help connect us to the people that we serve. They help connect and engage us to the people, their past, their roots, their skills, their talents, their history. That is New York. Those are the people we serve each day. So to me, as we heard before, when we invest in libraries, we're promoting and celebrating literacy. When we invest in cultural groups, we are creating an empowering social, economic, and political empowerment while celebrating the people we serve each and every single day. This is what you call a win-win in government, and this is a budget I'm very proud to be a part of. Thank you very much.
Wow, I'm going to have Councilman Traeger talk about libraries day in and day out. I couldn't be prouder to stand here today with all of you representing the Brooklyn Public Library. We are not only the borough's most democratic institution, the city's most democratic institution. Really, libraries are the place in this country where anybody that has the imagination and the inclination can walk through the door and have access to the world's wisdom and knowledge, and to be standing among you who get that, who not only talk about the importance of this institution but support it with funding, really makes my heart swell. And of course, first and foremost, thank you so much to the Borough President, who understands our need for capital dollars. Really awesome. We have serious capital need. I feel like I've been talking about this for a lot of years now. People know my tale of woe, and being able to make a dent in the libraries that Councilman Traeger just mentioned does a lot for not only the people in the particular neighborhoods that we serve, but throughout the system, because while we are in each neighborhood in Brooklyn, it's those libraries cumulatively that make our system as powerful and as meaningful to the people that we serve. So thank you for the roofs and the HVAC systems, but much more fundamentally, thank you for investing in the literacy and the intellectual challenges that the people who live in Brooklyn care to address on a daily basis. Thank you all.
Thank you. And we want to bring up Robert Remesaur, summer intern here at STREB, who's hosting us from St. Nick's Alliance.
All right.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I wanted to start off by thanking everyone for being here, and I wanted to stress to you guys how important it really is to have summer youth in effect. If it wasn't for summer youth, I would not have been an intern here. I've learned so much in the time that I've been here. This is more of a family. This is one of the most awesomest places I've ever been in my life. It's changed me completely. There's been nothing but support here. And without the funding in summer youth, there's guys like me, young people, who can go so far in life if we have programs like this that's gonna help guys and young people from my generation and motivate them to get out and work and actually do something for the summer. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm also thankful for the opportunities that's been given to me. And I'm thankful for the Borough President being here. I'm thankful for just everything that STREB has done. Has been amazing. My favorite thing about working here is coming in on Monday, the beginning of the week, and seeing these little kids, not knowing their name, and getting to know them throughout the whole week, and they're totally different. They change. I mean, they go from running around to actually being disciplined and getting on the flying trapeze and doing all these awesome moves. So I'm very proud to work here as an intern, and I appreciate the time that I've been here. I thank you guys again, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Let's see. I don't know if I did, but I want to make sure I acknowledge my good friend Scott Mayberry over at Botanical Garden, and Deborah Schwartz over at Brooklyn Historical Society, our real partners. We're going to grab some photos, but again, I just want to do a special thank you. Mark. Mark is our delegation chair for the City Council. And he used that role not to focus on just Coney Island, which is in a great need, but he wanted to make sure that the entire borough benefited from it. We really believe this class of city council persons, we really believe in the concept of one Brooklyn. This is one borough. We must all benefit, rise together, use our resources together, and come together to show the entire city, if not the globe, how do we live in unison. It's such a diverse environment. I'm excited about the possibilities that we can do here in the borough of Brooklyn. And I thank you, delegation leader, for making sure you're fighting hard for Brooklyn. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Give you all a round of applause.